I'm Beverly Keel, chair of MTSU's Department of Recording Industry. I chose Soar Like a Woman because women are achieving new heights, whether it's being the first woman elected mayor of Nashville to the first woman elected to be the nominee for a party for president. Women are achieving greater things, and they do it in their own style. I think I grew up being interested in other people. My father was a journalist. He coined the nickname Elvis the Pelvis. And my mother was early on a nurse and later worked in marketing at a hospital. As a family, when I was young, we used to go camping and I always ran off, and my sister says I was always interviewing the other campers. So if I have a strength, I think it would be in the interviewing part. I think my strength is talking to people and having them tell me their stories, and then I try to tell their story using their voice as much as possible. I'm really proud to change the conversation. About 2 years ago, I wrote a column asking, where are the women in country music? They're not getting nominated for the big awards. You don't hear them on country radio. And I talked to Leslie Fram, who's Senior Vice President at CMT, and it's like, what can we do about this? We've got to do something other than just complain. Unbeknownst to me, she was having that same conversation with Tracy Gershon of Rounder Records. And so the three of us got together and said, why don't we try to organize a salon and see if anybody else is even interested. We didn't know if anybody would even show up. And we had about 30 people show up at my house, very interested, very fired up. And it quickly turned into a movement. Every meeting we had, almost the audience doubled. People can channel their frustration into a proactive group. We had the first meeting in January, and then in May we get this beautifully wrapped gift when radio consultant Keith Hill told a country music trade publication that he didn't advise his stations to play a lot of women and never play two female songs back to back. And he compared the male artists like Dierks Bentley and Keith Urban to the lettuce in the salad, and the women were the tomatoes. Well, that remark became a national story overnight. It proved what we had been saying, which was there was gender inequality at country radio, which many had been denying, and it gave us the symbol of the tomato. And so there were tomato shirts, I'm a proud tomato, and people like Jennifer Nettles and Martina McBride spoke about it on social media. We got national press coverage, and it brought attention to the problem. And people say, well, why does it really matter? These women are already rich anyway. Well, let me tell you why it matters. It matters because when mothers are driving their daughters to school, young girls are not hearing female voices on the radio, and they're not hearing stories that they can relate to. So there are not women being heard who are telling the stories and explaining the experiences of other women. That's why it's so important.